Pass with Jack Ebling. Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. I want you to meet Team 232. Tom Crawford, my longtime radio partner, Bluebelly Tom. He's co-host of The Drive with Jack and Tom on the Team 92.1 FM. Facebook Live, weekdays from 3 to 6. The smile you see on his face is going to be there for the next week. Great week for the Wolverines, Tom.
Yeah, great weekend, great run, 8 wins for the Wolverines. This is one of the high marks of Michigan basketball right now, and to win back-to-back tournament championships is a great accomplishment. And the only downside is they got 11, 12 days, they got to cool down right now. Yeah. That's the unfortunate part of having the tournament early, but hey, it's great to be Amazing Blue person today. Won
their hockey series. They're in the semifinals next week.
Exactly.
Finished third in the Big Ten in wrestling.
Just get football fixed. Everything would be great then.
You give it all up for one win.
Also want to welcome Rico Beard. He is instructor at Specs Howard, Detroit area radio and TV personality, recruiting insider, and he is the host of the Spartan Beat, weeknights from 6 to 7 on the Team 92.1. You were thinking about going to New York. You didn't have to go.
No, I didn't have to go, and as a matter of fact, gotta be honest with you, didn't watch the game, didn't care.
Today, you didn't watch the game?
I didn't watch the game.
Did you watch it yesterday?
Yeah, I watched the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that all week long on the show.
We will.
It was really 2 games. Once again, Michigan State had a 3-point lead first half, but then the second half.
Even in the first half, Michigan went ice cold, and they only had a 3-point lead.
Michigan State couldn't do anything with it.
No, we trust me. We'll talk about that all week long.
Also want to welcome Ryan Schuling, and he is the host of the Schuling Report, weekdays from 1 to 3 on the Team 92.1 and Facebook Live. Ryan, this has a lot of ramifications for what we're going to see over the next month.
It will. There's a lot of seeding still to be done. I think there's a lot of fluidity between the 2 line and the 5 line. Michigan, with their win today, I think firmly plants them on the 4 with a chance at 3. I think Michigan State's still on the tail end of the 2 seed line with a chance to fall down to a 3. A lot of watching of SEC tournament, ACC tournament results that we'll be doing over this next week.
We're going to talk about the Spartans, the Wolverines, the Boilermakers, the Kansas Jayhawks. We'll talk about the NFL Combine and some tough news for a Wolverine. We'll also talk about reporting standards. And I'd like to be Sean Miller today. We'll be right back with that and much more. The big picture up next here on Press Pass on Fox 47.
At the YMCA of Lansing, you can exercise your heart in more ways than one. Losing weight and gaining strength. Build more than muscle. Because we're more than a gym. We strengthen communities with programs that help kids succeed. Stretch yourself with fitness classes for every level, finding balance in more ways than one. For stronger bodies, stronger communities, and stronger families. There's a $0 enrollment fee when you join the Y today.
With the David Chapman Agency, auto owners insurance policies come with something extra. Local agents who care about you. Our agents will help you find the right coverage at the best price. 3 generations serving you at the David Chapman Agency, your local auto owners insurance agents.
Stop into Bantu Beauty Supply for all your beauty needs. Set up an appointment with top-of-the-line stylists who specialize in natural braiding styles. Get human hair wigs and weave up to 50% off. Bantu Beauty Supply. Walk in searching, leave out styling.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this important nerd alert.
What are you doing?
We're playing doctor. Star Trek style.
I'm in hell, Leonard. Don't stop.
This concludes your Nerd Alert from The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 7 and 7:30 on Fox 47.
Catch an all-new episode of Lucifer, Monday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago. Doug Warren and I took a Dean luxury cruiser to Chicago and joined 27 pro football greats and more than 100 supporters of the Shinsky Orphanage in Metamoris, not far from landfall for Hurricane Harvey.
And to think that Iowa gave them fits in the first game on Thursday, pushed them to overtime. And now they're going to have their fourth game in 4 days as they try to pull off back-to-back Big Ten tournament championships. Michigan wins it by 11.
Congratulations to the back-to-back Big Ten tournament champion Michigan Wolverines. Rico Beard, we saw what we saw, or some people didn't see the last game, but after 126 regular season games and 13 Big Ten tournament games, can you rank the top 3 teams in the league?
Can I rank the top 3 teams in the league? Yeah, I can. I'm sure people won't like it, but nobody likes me anyway. At 3, I think you got Michigan. I think they're the hottest team right now. 2, I have Purdue. 1, I still have MSU. I look at the whole big picture. I'm not looking at a weekend. Big picture, Michigan State handled business. They went 16-2. Michigan's the hottest team right now, so that's why I would put them ahead of Ohio State. But I still think that Purdue and Michigan State are still the 2 best Big Ten teams.
Ryan, you buying that order?
I would when it comes to seeding. I think when you do look at the complete resume, I think Michigan State, with Purdue's loss today, that actually helps them. Stay on the back end of that 2 line along with Purdue. I think Michigan's at the front end of the 4 line. I believe they're strong and bullish, and the committee will reflect that with a chance at a 3 based on what comes up. I would agree with Rico's ranking overall, but until Michigan State, gets the job done against Michigan head-to-head, they might not have to again.
Right, because right now, I mean, for the next 13 days, you'll hear Michigan State's going to be the worst 29-4 team ever in the history of college basketball.
According to their own fans.
Because their own fans. No, because of their own fans, because their own fans are insecure, and they listen to your mouth-breathing fans, and they think that they're, like, oh my God, we need their approval. And it's like, guys, you're 29-3. I mean,
Tom, do you agree with that order, the order that Rico and Ryan had?
Of course not.
Of the 3.
Whatever. I mean, if it makes Rico happy, let's make Michigan State. Keep in mind, Michigan State, I know they didn't have any problem. I know they have any control of the schedule, but they didn't play any of the contenders on the road. So that's what went into the
Minnesota was supposed to be good. Maryland was supposed to be good. Wisconsin was supposed to be good.
Bottom line is, I think Michigan right now is playing better than anybody in the Big Ten right now. They're the best team that's playing right now. Will that stand 11, 12 days from now? We don't know. But as we're sitting right now, but the regular season is all. That's the core. Michigan State is your Big Ten champion. I get that. Michigan State is a postseason tournament champion. Both going to be high seeds going in the NCAA tournaments.
Can we take a look at these games? Can we take a look at the games that were played in the Big Ten? There you see it. And, Michigan, 4 wins in the Big Ten tournament for the 2nd straight year. And how about Ohio State? 1 and done.
But you know what? It's about matchups.
Bad matchups, right?
Michigan is a bad matchup for Michigan State. Penn State is a bad matchup for Ohio State.
That's what the NCAA tournament is all about, matchups.
So, but, is Penn State a better team than Ohio State? No.
We saw this yesterday with Kansas, Ryan, and for some reason, they see Cowboys, and Oklahoma State is the first team to sweep a Bill Self-led Jayhawks team since he arrived in Lawrence. But when a team has 2 wins over another team, or another team has lost just before it enters NCAA tournament play, how significant is that?
Well, this is why Penn State's not getting more consideration as an at-large, because all 3 of their big wins are against the same team, Ohio State. While it's impressive, they haven't demonstrated the ability to do it against anybody else. Same holds true for Oklahoma State against Kansas. And in reverse, for the Jayhawks, they're still solidly right at the end of that 1 line, maybe front of the 2 line. The only other team that has a chance at a 1 seed right now outside of Virginia, Villanova, and Xavier is Duke. Those are your 5, and that's it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got to ask yourself, did Kansas really care? They locked up the Big 12 outright. So did they really put all the effort in?
No, you got to keep working on the old resume for the 1 seed. I mean, I think they're doing. They've lost a lot of games.
You know about this from 1989, Michigan State 1979, but in the 41 years since Indiana went 32-0, 19 times in those 41 years, the national champion has lost its last game before entering the tournament. But I want to talk to you about having the tournament in New York, because I was a skeptic. A lot of people were. Do you think that Jim Delaney was validated in any way by having the solo spotlight, and with the crowds? Look like
the crowds. I mean, I've talked to 5 or 6 friends of mine who were there, who live in New York, Michigan alumni, and they said it was unbelievable. I talked to a couple state people who were there. No. This was an incredible. I think 19,000 was sold out. It was fantastic.
He bastardized. He sold out to the conference for the $1.
This is a mecca. MSG.
Nothing about New York says Big Ten. Nothing. Period.
Rutgers does.
Go to break.
We will be back in just a minute. We're going to talk about the Michigan State Spartans, where they are and what's ahead in this 13-day break. We'll be right back here on Press Pass.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure, because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern, open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Everything you thought you knew about medicine is wrong. The Resident, all new Monday on Fox.
Go Green!
Don's Fleet Services on Eaton Rapids Road has been serving the Lansing area for over 20 years. Call Don's for all of your automotive needs, from regular maintenance to full repairs.
Don's Fleet Services. Go Green!
Welcome to Russell & Schrader Insurance. Hastings Mutual is a trusted partner of ours. Call Joe Daly for a Hastings Mutual insurance quote. They are hard to beat. Call Steve Keisch today. From business to farms, Hastings Mutual will protect your best assets.
You ready? I'm ready. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I'm not buying what you're saying to me, but I'm going to let you dig your hole. No. You don't hustle me. Now we're getting somewhere. You're making up a story now. I can tell. I'm like a truth machine. We're done.
Weekdays starting at 4 on Fox 47.
Back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years of automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you, as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
You know, it's not enough things are going our way, and
give them credit. They played well. They didn't shoot it much better than us the first half. But to shoot 66% in the second half and still only shoot 44 for the game, you know, we weren't great, but we weren't bad defensively. Our number one concern was the turnovers. And, you know, we had 13-5 on second chance points and 7-4 on points off turnovers. The first game it was 26-7. So we did some of the things we needed to do. We just did not do a good enough job making shots, and they won fair and square and deserved to win.
That is Michigan State coach Tom Izzo. His program has the most Big Ten tournament wins with 5. Could not get number 6. Have to settle for a regular season title. Ryan Schuling, why was Michigan State outscored by 13 and 14 points in the second half of these 2 games against Michigan when the superior depth the Spartans had has helped it win 8 games, 8-0 in games decided by 6 points or less?
Short answer, ball movement. I think there's a stat that Tom Izzo looks at after every game. You and I talked to him about it, Jack, and that's assists to field goals made. Those numbers, that disparity is stark in both of those Michigan games. That has everything to do with the Wolverines' defense and taking Michigan State out of their element in the half court. Michigan State didn't pass the ball enough, inside, outside, around the perimeter. When we see them really firing on all cylinders, a Matt McQuaid 3 in the corner, a Josh Langford open on the wing, they're moving the ball. Michigan prevented that by getting hands in passing lanes. I give the Wolverines credit for that.
And some of that, Tom Crawford, was due to Michigan's defense and things that Xavier Simpson would not let Cassius Winston be Cassius Winston.
Right. Now, you know, that goes back to the game on January 13th where Xavier frustrated Cassius Winston. You know, this is a defense that was ranked 37th last year in the country, Michigan basketball, and they've been as high as 100 to 200. They're right now in like ranked 6th in the country defensively. And you just saw that turn that game, and they make everything contested. And then Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman, offensively, his assist-to-turnover ratio, he's a top guard in the entire country. He is the guy, he is the D. Walton that makes things happen for Michigan.
Rico, we talk about Joshua Langford, one of my favorite guys, unbelievable person, but I see Matt McQuaid in there, and I think Michigan State is playing at a higher level.
Yeah, because I think right now Langford is thinking about his shots. He's in a slump, and either you shoot yourself out, but he's not shooting. Whereas Matt McQuaid is kind of house money. He's not if anything he hits, great. Sometimes he shoots, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know. I think Izzo needs to, and it kind of goes to the lineups. I think he needs to, when he plays Michigan, remember, I have the best 2 players on the court and act like it. He was more concerned about defending Michigan than playing Michigan State basketball both times they played. He's got lineups in there. It's like, why is Ward on the bench for 23 minutes? Why is Jaron not? They're not in foul trouble, but he was so worried about Michigan and
matchups. We saw that Nick Ward can't check.
No, but I'm saying instead of worrying about what Michigan can do, you have the best 2 players. Act like you have the best 2 players and make Michigan counter what you're doing. Beeline's winning this chess
one of
game.
the best 2 players in both these games clearly has been Mo Wagner. But Tom, you said repeatedly that Michigan State would win 21 in a row.
I did.
You thought they would run the table. What has to happen now after the 13-game streak ends for them to win the next 6? And post another banner?
Well, first of all, their fans need to be medicated and take a deep breath. My God, they won 27 games, 29 games?
29 games.
29 games. They won 13 games in a row.
But it doesn't matter.
They won 16
they lost 2
games
games in Michigan.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, I don't think there's a lot to fix, to be honest with you. I would put McQuaid. I would start McQuaid, though. I mean, start him. And have Josh Langford come off the bench and maybe just mix it up a little bit.
This team still has as many wins as anybody in the country and has a chance to have the most in school history. Could tie the 3rd most wins in Big Ten history. Seems like they never won a game.
You would think so. Fans just aren't buying it right now. They lost to Michigan twice.
We'll be right back. We'll have our Out of the Blue segment talking Michigan basketball up next on Press Pass.
Michigan is definitely a very interesting place to forecast the weather. We have changing things all the time. Everybody wants to hear, what's the forecast for tomorrow? How's it going to be when I'm taking my kids to cheerleading practice at the end of the day? I'm from Howell, so I do really enjoy that I am still here in Michigan. I get to see my family all the time, something that I absolutely love. If I could choose one place to live for the rest of my life, love being here, love being in Lansing.
St. John Savings Buick GMCs, we're bringing in the new year. Here's some examples. Brand new Buick Encore with a trade-in, it's only $45 a month.
Cadillac XTS, $319 down, $319 a month, tax included.
Sundance St. John, saving you money 7 days a week.
I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
Holton Dimedale Insurance Agency, your hometown team. Come see us today.
The New Year's new hit comedy, Boom. LA to Vegas, Tuesday on Fox.
At Fabiano's Pizzeria, we're more than great pizza. We're family. We're friends. We're a team. Dough and sauce made from scratch. We're serious about quality. And we're honored to serve you. Fabiano's Pizzeria, Westphalia, just down the road.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Many of our teams would have commanded that same audience. So great idea. I don't think anybody liked the timing being a little bit earlier, but I think in the long run, anybody who attended that game today knew it was well worth it for us to make this trip. So much respect for Michigan State. We beat a really, really good basketball team, a team that deserves like where they are, top 1 to 10 ranking. They can win the national championship. Everybody needs breaks to do that, but they're a fantastic team, and we're very appreciative that we were able to get a win today.
That is Michigan head basketball coach John Beilein, and he wants his own calendar month too. Tom Crawford, unlike in 2014 when we had the flip and Michigan was the conference regular season champion and Michigan State won the tournament championship, maybe this is more like 1986 when Michigan was the dominant team.
Right.
No team in the Big Ten could hang with them except Michigan State, and Scott Skiles seemed to have Michigan's number. Is this really all about the matchups?
This is literally a duplication of that. We talked about that last week. I mean, Michigan State beat Michigan double digits that year in 1986, and Michigan won 16 games, Big Ten champions with Roy Tarpley. Michigan State lost to Michigan this year in double digits twice. Yeah. You know, and yet they're the reigning Big Ten regular season champion. It's all about the matchups, like we said, and the thing about what the beauty of today for Michigan is they beat every team now, as of beating Purdue. They beat every team in the Big Ten at least once. All 14 of them. That was a big accomplishment for them.
Other than have Nick Ward make a layup with no one else in the zip code, or not having a 28-footer crotch and fall in, what does Tom Izzo do about these matchups if these teams should meet again?
I told you in the last segment, I think Tom Izzo should realize I have Miles Bridges and I have Jaren Jackson Jr. I got to work a two-man game, and Cassius Winston. I got to get those three involved. I need to keep those three on the court so long as they're not in foul trouble at all times and be the aggressor. Now, I know they're trying to cut down on turnovers, but it's almost like a home run hitter. I'm not worried about your strikeouts so long as you're putting them out of the park. And if you're Michigan State, it's better when you're fast. It's better when you're running up and down the court, pass, shoot, rather than dribble, clock's running down to 8 seconds, and now you got to jack up a shot.
Michigan was not letting Michigan State run. You would see they throw up a shot, and everyone would sprint back. Look like the old Northwestern teams Michigan State couldn't get much going in transition and had to work sometimes late in the shot clock.
Two things that stand out to me, Jack. This is the best test Michigan State could have for a team like Virginia that they might play, a suffocating defense. And that's the only other team I might rank ahead of Michigan in terms of what kind of pressure they put on you from start to finish, from the length of the court to the other and in the half court. For Michigan, I would be extremely optimistic about their chances going in, their ability to defend anybody out there. If you could defend a team like Michigan State the way that they did, there is nobody. And if I'm the 4 Michigan in the region with Kansas, I'm looking forward to that as well. And again, Michigan State gets a lot out of this game, even though it was a loss.
They had 2 lockdown defenders, just like the 76 team, Wayman Britt and Steve Brody. When you have Charles Matthews and Xavier Simpson who are lockdown defenders, you could have 2 good defenders. That can really go a long way.
I think Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman's a good defender. And today, they get John Teskey playing the best game of his life.
That's bonus points.
You know, Rico, we have seen this game now twice. Any reason to think a third time it would be significantly different?
No. I mean, the only way it would be different is if Michigan State did different things. But other than that, if they play for a third time, right now, the way it's looking, this is just a bad matchup for this team.
Michigan is hot. I mean, Purdue was behind by 18 late in this game. So it wasn't just Michigan State getting overtaken in the second half.
State played Michigan more competitive than Purdue.
Michigan, look, if you're Michigan State, you don't want to see Michigan, you don't want to see Duke, and you probably don't want to see Oklahoma in the second round, because I think Trae Young is somebody that they can't guard. If you can't stop Xavier Simpson, you're not stopping
I'm more worried about what Michigan State does, though, in the half court, Jack. Their execution, their ball movement. We talked about this in an earlier segment. To me, they don't look confident. They don't look like they have a sense of purpose out there. They don't have confidence running their half court offense.
They don't look like they're a 29-win team.
That's funny. They just won 13 games in a row.
I know. Right. But, you know, Michigan used, right out of Wisconsin's book, they got back on defense. You saw Wisconsin did that up in Madison. I think they saw that tape right there. Because that's what they've been tearing up Michigan doing that.
Yeah, they played Wisconsin game the day before, and they played Michigan's game, and Michigan beat them.
Ryan, how have the Wolverines done this? So such disruptive defense. Duncan Robinson, until the last half of the season, frankly, I thought he was such a defensive liability. But coming off the bench, Tom, now, hey, you know, everybody is pitching in, and they believe.
This might be Beilein's best job as a coach, and I don't say that lightly. Given the talent he had in 2013, you can point to that. But this group at the beginning of the year, nobody saw this coming. Every guy, he knows how to turn the key on. He's gotten production. He's gotten results. He's gotten the word that Mo Wagner used today, commitment to what they're doing on defense.
All right, we're going to talk more about college basketball. We're going to talk about Arizona and what is happening with Sean Miller and DeAndre Ayton. We're going to talk about ESPN, Mark Schlabach, journalistic standards, and how it impacts what's happened here at Michigan State. We'll be right back on Press Pass.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Working with the Ide Company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the Ide Company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The X-Files, Wednesday on Fox.
What makes a modern family? It's all relative. Jay is the patriarch.
Do we kick and punch each other, or do we love each other?
Love each other.
That's right.
His wife is Gloria. She's Colombian, gorgeous, and loud.
How am I loud?
Jay's son Mitch is married to Cam, who's from Missouri. They are Lily's fathers.
What's going on with my hair today?
And each of them is
The gay uncle. Or gunkle.
to Haley, Alex, and Luke.
What's that?
It's a body spray called Sex Grenade.
That smell is driving me crazy.
Then it's working.
Their parents are Phil.
Whipped cream smile.
Okay, that's disgusting. Stop it.
And Claire, Mitchell's sister and Jay's daughter.
My stepdaughter. I'm older than you.
Which makes Gloria's son Manny Claire's kid's uncle, and makes Gloria
Like my grandma.
Easy, I have stabbed closer relatives than you.
That leaves Joe.
Grab the dipstick.
Who's Jay's son and possibly his own grandfather.
I have to say, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's all relative on Modern Family Nightly.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 47.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, Part 2, brought to you by Dean Trailways.
I have never knowingly violated NCAA rules while serving as head coach of this great program. I have never paid a recruiter, prospect, or their family or representative to come to Arizona. I never have, and I never will. I have never arranged or directed payment or any improper benefits to a recruit or prospect or their family or representative, and I never will.
That is Arizona head coach Sean Miller. Rico Beard, Mark Schleybaugh is standing by his story from FBI informants that there is a wiretap with Miller negotiating a $100,000 broker deal. That's about as strong a denial as I've ever heard anyone give. If Sean Miller is right, what happens?
Well, if Sean Miller is right, I hope he tears down ESPN. I hope they turn Disney World into Miller World. I hope they tear it apart, because what ESPN is doing is flat out irresponsible if that is the case. You cannot come out here and start saying, well, this person's doing this person's doing that. Well, do you have proof? No, but I stand by my word. If you're Schleybaugh, present us the tape. Crap or get off the pot is where we're at right now with ESPN. And they're not doing anything, but they've gone quiet, and they want transparency, they want answers, but when you turn the tables on them, they run and hide.
Ryan, I think Rico used this the other night on his show, on Spartan Beat. This is kind of Sean Miller's Rafael Palmeiro moment. He's wagging his finger at Congress, right? He's sitting there looking at the camera, and he's saying, this did not happen, this did not happen. If it's proven that it did happen, he'll never get another job.
He won't. And what other choice did he have? He was probably never going to get another job anyway, so he's dying on this hill. It's been chosen for him. I agree with Rico in large regard, though, with Schleybaugh on the reporting. What I'm waiting is for that other shoe to drop. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know everything that the FBI has, sound included. Christian Dawkins, for that matter, his logs, his ledgers, his notes, whether it's Tom Izzo, Dwayne Stevens, Miles Bridges' parents, Sean Miller, who were finding out that he didn't even represent DeAndre Ayton. I have a lot of questions about the reporting because of the sourcing of it.
Bam, right there. I mean, you got to ask yourself. You got to check the source. And plain and simple, man. If this is wrong, then I think if you follow it, $100,000 for a player, that wasn't DeAndre Ayton. That was a player who ended up in South Carolina, who happened to play with Jaren Jackson last year.
DeAndre Ayton probably going to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft. Tom, Mark Schleybaugh has a good reputation in our business. He could be correct, he could have been duped, but what do we need to remember about journalistic standards moving forward for everyone in this profession?
I took a few J courses in college, and I did some investigative reporting when I was down in Houston of some, not big issues, but some issues, and you got to have 100% of your sources. You have to have everything covered before you publish anything. I remember having a managing editor, man, just pound and pound and pound. You can't be 90% right. You got to be 90. You got to be 100% right. You can't just be. It's not like horseshoes, guys. You got to get it all right.
70% right means you're wrong.
You're wrong, and I don't know. Maybe there's different standards. I'm so glad I'm not in that media business in terms of trying to investigate stuff, because I couldn't fall into that kind of approach to things.
Ryan, we have all seen the reaction to the ESPN reports about Michigan State, and I thought an incredibly unfair graphic with Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo, Spartan Secrets with Larry Nassar. What recourse does anyone have once a story like this goes viral? Hey, I know people who still think that they can tell me who the Atlanta bomber was in the Olympics, and they're dead wrong.
Well, when you go back to the print days, Jack, which you and I remember fondly, there would be a front page story, and if it was wrong, the retraction would be issued the next day. It might be on page 3C or something, and it didn't carry as much weight or create as much impact. It's even worse now in the social media society when things get retweeted thousands of times, and then oops, a retraction, a correction, that gets maybe 30 retweets. It's not the same impact, and so once the genie's out of the bottle on something like this, people have formed their judgments. Those have congealed about Nasser regarding Izzo and D'Antonio, about Miller now with DeAndre Ayton and Christian Dawkins. It isn't fair, and that's why standards, to Tom and Rico's point, are even more important in journalistic reporting now than ever.
When it comes to defamation of character, guys, someone can say, well, no, that's a public figure, they're fair game, right. But aren't there still slander laws? Aren't there still libel laws?
There should be, if there is.
Take precedent over something that could ruin someone's life?
It is, but it's how ESPN is presenting it. They're almost saying it as a question. So therefore, legally, we didn't say this. We're just saying, you know,
there's indications thereof
that maybe this is happening, but it's wrong. You shouldn't be able to come out there and destroy a reputation the way they're doing. I honestly hope that that Arizona and MSU and Ayton and all these people do a lawsuit and combine their resources and go after the mouse.
That'd be very interesting to see how this.
You're out there somewhere, Paula. Hey, we miss you.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens now.
And how long it takes.
More information.
Yes.
Or they have to wait for the FBI to do its due diligence. In the meantime, Sean Miller's twisting in the wind. Yeah. We will be back in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to talk pro football. It's about that time with the Combine. Saquon Barkley, etc. Coming up next.
And here comes Bobby Moore, leading the teams out. Dempsey captains the U.S. today. Charlton, Bobby Charlton. Neymar, brilliant. Beckenbauer. Eusebio. And it's Messi. Oh, beautiful dummy from Cruyff. Ronaldinho. Incredible. Marquez really late. Cristiano Ronaldo magnificently done. Maradona. Skips past him. That's a great run by Michael Owen. Zinedine Zidane, what has he done? Suarez. Oh. It's a red card for David Beckham.
Lethal Weapon, all new Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment. Brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. It is NFL Combine time, gentlemen, in Indianapolis. Ryan, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Will he be the next Barry Sanders or just another Kijana Carter? And do you agree with Rico that the Lions need to get a franchise back like that at all costs? Or do you agree with Doug Warren that there's so many guys who can help, then get somebody in the 3rd or 4th round?
I wouldn't trade up from 20, and you would have to get Saquon Barkley, and I do feel he's a transformative back. No, the Mike Ditka wearing the wig thing, if Patricia pulled that, I mean, he's making quite a splash on day 1 of the draft, but I don't see that happening. I like Nick Chubb a lot from Georgia. I think there's a great list of backs behind Barkley that would be perfectly suitable.
He'll be available.
Geis would be another one at 20 from LSU, but no, I love Barkley. I don't think the Penn State curse is fair to apply to him, whether it's Kajana Carter or Curtis Enis or any other Penn State back that's flamed out. He's different. He does it all. He's showing it in the combine. He showed it on tape. He had some slow games last year. I still believe he would be an ample pick, even at number 1 overall in the draft.
230 pounds, 4.40 40, 42-inch vertical, and he did 225 29 times, Rico. How do you beat that?
You can't.
Sounds like Jim Brown.
I think he's going to be a special back. I do agree with Ryan. There's a lot of backs out there for the Lions to get, unless you pull, trade away picks. Like a guy that under the radar, Caleb Ballage out of Arizona State, 6-foot running back. This guy was the dude at Arizona State.
Caleb Ballage.
Yes.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
From Rico Beard.
So I'm just saying, guys like that will be there. You can't be so ignorant to say, I'm going to stick with the backs that I have right now.
Running back
Zach Zenner will win you nothing.
Oh, he's gone.
I'm just saying, but you stick with these guys, and the back they got from
Amir Abdullah.
Amir Abdullah.
Oh boy,
he's our guy. He's not your guy.
All right, Billy Sims, right? Billy Sims, Barry Sanders. Tom, how would Saquon Barkley look at number 20?
Ooh, that would
same initials.
But I'm agreeing with these guys. I mean, running backs are a dime a dozen. I hate to say it. I don't mean to make it a commodity thing, but you can get. I mean, there'll be plenty of good backs later on. They have other needs, like Doug Warren always tells us.
But you just got to draft one. You can't stick your head in the sand and think that you're the smartest man in the room, and you could just find some cast off from New England.
In theory, I like Tom's approach. You want an edge rusher, outside linebacker, defensive end, but they're very thin and they're very thick at running back. And at 20, if the better player on your board is a running back, you shouldn't be afraid to take one. That's who's there.
But if it's a position scarcity thing, maybe you take the best available edge rusher, and you can go back
but I wouldn't
round
reach.
2 or 3.
I wouldn't reach for an edge rusher.
You're right. I wouldn't reach for a 2nd or 3rd round pick just because he's there.
No.
That's why you're the Lion.
Tom, what about Mo Hurst?
Oh, man.
What a sad story that might be. What can you tell us?
Well, first of all, Mo Hurst, if you talk to any Michigan media guy who's covered the Wolverines for the last 20, 30 years or any SID, the nicest guy in the history of the program. This guy is smiling all the time. So your heart just breaks the fact that he's, he had some type of a test that indicated he's got some kind of irregular heartbeat, and now all of a sudden he's got to get further tests, and his NFL career and just his whole livelihood is in jeopardy. As far as football player, the most important thing is for Mo, he's got to be a healthy human being. He can be successful at other things besides football.
You know what, Tom? This is going to sound bad, but I'm actually glad that this happened.
As opposed to on the field.
On the field.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm right with you, brother.
You could have had a Hank Gathers, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I was shocked as you because he was a player that I actually liked.
Remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
He died against the Bears on the field.
Right.
Dick Butkus is jumping up and down. And everyone,
take him off on a gurney, hauled him off, and he was dead.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with Rico on that. Absolutely.
Rico, Ryan Allen had, from all reports, a pretty good week. Was it good enough to be drafted and to continue Michigan State's streak as one of just a handful of schools that's had a player picked in every common draft since the leagues merged?
All right, Jack, I'm going to sound kind of, very insiderish here, but I know a scout who each year tells me he told me about how good Carson Wentz was going to be. He was like, I don't care, this guy. He has said Brian Allen is going to get drafted. He's probably going to go between the 4th to 6th round, depending on the combine, because he's hooked up with some people, he's dropped some weight, he's in the best shape of his life, and he was like, you guys shouldn't be worried at all. He's getting drafted. Somebody's going to take him.
Well, he'll be on a team. He'll make it as a free agent.
Yeah. But the question is, will he be picked? The Spartans have had somebody picked in every draft.
Well, Brian, and to Rico's point, has been working out in Arizona. He's been focusing the same way that his brother has. There's some test pattern there for him to be picked up by the Saints and some track record there for the family. And I think this would apply brother for Brian. And I do agree with Rico. I think he's a safe bet for the 6th round. I do.
Would L.J. Scott have been drafted?
I think so. Yeah. I think he would have.
Ahead of Brian Allen? About the same?
Third
same
round.
area?
Probably one of those
I
fifth
don't
round
think they've gone third
supplemental
round.
picks.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think of, we're looking at those top 10 backs, and I'm not seeing L.J. Scott in that territory
I'm
yet.
thinking he's in that supplemental picks in the fourth or fifth
Better for him
round.
to wait. Better for him to wait one more year.
We'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to have our Take It to the Bank segment brought to you by Dart Bank. All of our guarantees talking about the NCAA tournament moving forward on Press Pass.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this important nerd alert.
We're playing Doctor, Star Trek style.
I'm in hell, Leonard. This concludes your nerd alert from The Big Bang Theory, 5 nights a week.
Weeknights at 7 and 7:30.
We are the selling team.
We are here when you need us.
We work harder for you.
We follow up.
We get your home sold.
We are the selling team with Keller Williams Realty. Beyond real estate, real family.
I loved growing up in Michigan. The capital city, Lansing, is my capital city. It's awesome to be able to see these lawmakers and these leaders making changes that are also affecting me. But this is truly a dream come true to be a morning news anchor in my home state. I feel so lucky to still be able to be in Michigan and to work in Michigan, and I'm just excited to be here.
The New Year's new hit comedy, Boom. LA to Vegas, Tuesday on Fox.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 47.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. There you see the latest bracketology projections from Joe Lunardi. This is as of Saturday night. Now, some things would change. Cincinnati with a big win, certainly Michigan making a strong case to get onto that 4 line.
They take Ohio State's spot, maybe.
Or maybe could all 4 Big Ten teams be a 4 or better, or is it either or?
No, I think that all 4 teams could be a 4 or better. I mean,
maybe
Ohio,
in place of a West Virginia or Texas Tech?
I mean, maybe, but I think we're putting too much on the last couple of games where I think the tournament selection committee is looking at the whole body of work.
We got a whole week to go, too.
Right, they're counting all those games that you played at the beginning of the season this year.
Well, maybe that affects it, too. Maybe the fact that now we have all this extra time that they'll be able to ruminate on this before Big Ten championship game didn't even matter, right?
Yeah. Well, no, but it used to be that you'd want to lose on Saturday to get an extra day of rest. It was like, yeah, do you really want to win this title? Let's get home. No, a lot of coaches, they wouldn't admit it publicly, but it was an extra
day of rest. Or they rationalized the loss.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we go home.
All right, Team 232, let's talk about Selection Sunday, 1 week from tonight. Tom Crawford, what can you guarantee about the #1 seats?
I'm going to go with No, I'm going to go with Virginia, Xavier, Villanova, and I'm going to have the Duke Blue Devils sneak in there. They were really impressive last night.
Been talking to Ryan Schuling again.
Over Carolina in that second half. Man, they scored 49 points second half. I'm going with the Dukies to be a #1 seed.
If Duke had lost that game, would they have been out of consideration? Would it have been Kansas then? Or
yeah, well, I mean, Kansas lost too.
A lot of losses.
Yeah, Kansas is there by default right
now. Maybe it'd be a #1 seed to be named later in the week. I would have probably just gone 3.
Because Kansas has all those Q1 games that they won early in the year.
Rico, what can we bank on with Michigan State and Michigan for Selection Sunday?
Michigan State and Michigan, well, Spartan fans, rest assured, the bank that I give for you, they're going to be playing down at the LCA.
Really?
Why do you say that?
They'll be at the LCA because the NCAA...
Kevin Pauga's going to join us tomorrow on Drive with Jack and Tom. He's not so sure.
Well, you're not listening to me. The NCAA is about one thing and one thing only. Dollar bill. Okay? Michigan State, 68 miles away from Detroit. They're going to bring the fan base.
Michigan's even closer. Just put them in there. They'll make up for it.
They can't. You lost to Northwestern. You can't. So, Michigan State will going to be there. Michigan will probably end up being, like I said, I'm thinking either going to be the last 4 seed or the first 5th seed, depending on conference tournament. But Tom, for you, since they won, I'll give them the 4th seed.
All right.
I don't know about Detroit, folks.
LCA.
I'm hearing a lot of crazy things about Detroit. Ryan, Xavier would be the first team to be seeded, and the question is, they are 11 miles closer to Detroit than they are to Nashville, and then about another 11 miles, then they go to Pittsburgh. So if they filled out that form, beginning of the season, if you're the overall #1 seed, which sub-regional and regional would you want to go to? And if they put Detroit, then that's where they might be set. If that's the case, then it comes down to Michigan State and Purdue. Only one of them can go to Detroit.
And that's why it's good Michigan won today, Spartan fans.
Right.
Absolutely. You were in for the Wolverines, right? Whether it's Xavier or Cincinnati, both in Cincinnati, if they go by letter of the law, the committee chair said it goes into a computer, it spits it out. If that's the case, both those two teams might get cracks ahead of Michigan State. So you're rooting against Cincinnati in their American Conference tournament. I think it's 5 teams for 4 1 seeds. Duke or Kansas will be the 4th. The other 3 are locked in. I'll also make this bold, take it to the bank lock. No Big Ten team will be seated lower than 5th. Ohio State or Michigan, and then Michigan State.
Solid 4 in. That's 4 a little bit unusual.
Give him 4.
Penn State had its chance.
4 great seeds.
LCA, Michigan State will be there.
Okay. Parties at Rico.
Taking the bank.
We'll be back with our Culver segment coming up. Cool and smooth next on Press Pass.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Are you mom enough? What if I were to meet someone, maybe a young guy who wants a family?
You have a family.
Doesn't mean I can't try for a better one.
Mom, 5 nights a week. Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 47.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The X-Files, Wednesday on Fox.
Gillette's RV and Price Right RV are in the local RV dealer battle of the year. In a thumb war? No. In a card war? Of course not. It's a price war, and they're taking it to the fairgrounds. It's RV Wars. Gillette's Interstate RV versus Price Right Auto and RV. March 8th through 11th at the Ingham County Fairgrounds. Free parking, free entry, great selection of new and used units, and great deals. This is not a show, but they're extending show prices for this sale. It's an all-out war on price, saving you thousands. You won't want to miss your last chance to get preseason pricing.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
High arching whistle. We have a lane violation. It goes the other way. Ball game. We get a 5 second.
No,
he ran the baseline. Yep. He moved on the baseline. Oh, Mike, but we'll see. Jerome's got to get it in. It's Hunter for 3. You called it. A bank. It's open late, and Virginia wins.
That's still hard to watch.
The craziest.
Yeah, if you've ever coached, that's really hard to watch. All right, Team 232, time for our weekly awards, and it's Oscar night. We promise not to have the wrong winner the way Faye Dunaway did last year. Rico, let's start with you. What's our play of the week?
That was close to being play of the week for me.
Oh, wow. I want to hear it. If you got a better one.
That was close. The Rockman ball that sat on the rim and fell in, because at that point I looked up and said, that's ball game. You're not going to come back. I'm going to go off the books a little bit because I like the stance that he took. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson refusing to be a wide receiver. He refused to go to the combine and said, I'm not running, I'm a quarterback, I'm not a wide receiver. You're not asking the other quarterbacks to go out there and do other positions. He held his ground and said, I'll throw as many passes as you want. I'm not going to run because I am not a wide receiver. I'm a quarterback.
Doug Warren's choice as the best quarterback in this draft.
In the whole draft.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, I guess, tore it up, and he may have moved up to the #1 overall pick. Ryan Schuling, what about our game of the week?
Well, we had some from today. You look at Carleigh Jones for Radford, sending Liberty home, and the madness has already begun. We saw Lipscomb get into the tournament for the first time in their history today, almost blowing a 32-point lead against Florida Gulf Coast. But the game you just saw is the game of the week. It's one of the most petrifying losses I've seen in some time. So many things going wrong at the end of that game, and Virginia pulling it out of the fire. Congrats to them, but wow, did Louisville melt down.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you take off running on an inbounds pass when they say you can't
pointing,
run?
right?
You know, they covered that during the timeout.
Too.
Freeze your feet.
What we didn't see real quick before that was a 4-point lead with 3 seconds to go. They foul a 3-point shooter. Just watch him shoot it.
That was
fouled him. Stop the clock. Oh, man.
Meltdown.
Drives me nuts. Tom Crawford, what about our team of the week?
I wonder.
This is too easy, baby.
Tom,
Radford.
I'll tell you what.
Tom, if it's still there in 4 hours, go to the hospital.
Listen, Michigan beat two top 5 teams back-to-back. A great Michigan State team, mind you, yesterday.
Don't upsell them now.
A terrific Purdue team today. They're 28-7. They've won 8 in the Big Ten tournament. They've won 8 in a row now. It's the Michigan Wolverines, my team of the week. Hands down. Come on, guys. You would agree with that, right, Rico?
I'll give you that.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I have another nominee for team of the week.
Would be?
Our new directors.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
How about Chuck Daniel and Charlie Pena?
Right. Under
Fantastic
fire.
job relieving the great Jared Churchill. But our player of the week, and thought a lot of different ways we could go with this. I have to have co-players of the week. It was the wrestling championship today at Breslin Center.
Yes.
In that heavyweight matchup that would not end. And Kyle Snyder, the Olympic champion, finally defeated Adam Kuhn in the 4th overtime period with the first takedown of the match. It was the payback. And Tom, they're going to go at it again in Cleveland in the NCAA championship.
Adam Kuhn is huge.
Adam Kuhn from Fowlerville, and he put up a tremendous fight. And finally, it was disputed too. Was he inbounds?
Right.
Was he out of bounds? Want to thank all of our panelists here on Team 232. Bluebelly Tom Crawford. You can hear him weekdays from 3 to 6 and see him on Facebook Live, The Drive with Jack and Tom. Rico Beard, the Spartan Beat, 6 to 7 on the team, 92.1. And Ryan Schuling, the Schuling Report, weekdays from 1 to 3 on the team, 92.1. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great week.